Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Anthony, and I am a Medtronic or Mini Med, whatever we want to call them at this point, 770G user as of last summer. And I want to talk about the Guardian 3 sensor. That's what I want to talk about today. I've been using it since around that time. I was actually on Dexcom towards the end of me using the 630G. And then during the first month and a half of using the 770G, I was using the Dexcom G6 system, basically operating both pumps, the 630 and the 770, in manual mode, and adjusting my settings using the data from the Dexcom G6. The Dexcom G6, this is not a review of that, but I will say that the experience that I had with the Dexcom G6, I think I only had I had two failures. One of them was my fault, okay, and then the other was an actual genuine failure, which was just a bad sensor. Besides that, the connectivity, so the Bluetooth connectivity capabilities with the receiver, because I had the receiver for it, and I also started using it with a hacked version of the app for Android, so it could run on my phone. And even with a hacked app, the connectivity was spot on. I never, ever dropped connection on the Dexcom G6 with my phone or the receiver. Insertions were painless. They were easy. The device was incredibly accurate. Now, obviously, the device, you're not supposed to use the G6 as blood glucose levels. So the sensor readings that it gives you, you're not supposed to use as blood glucose readings, but just as many people have done with the G6, they do use those values. And their A1C improves a lot because the thing is that freaking accurate. I'm not even going to talk in percentages. I, on average, had the thing within 5 to 10 points. 5 to 10 points in the low end, in the mid-range, in the high end. Didn't matter where my sugar was. That G6 was tracking within 5 to 10 points, not percent. Medtronic pushed me and pushed me and pushed me, and the trainer pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to try the Guardian 3. I already had bad experiences with the N-Lite back when it was N-Lite sensor, but I was like, auto mode, I want to try auto mode, I want to see what all the hype is about auto mode. And again, this is not a review of auto mode either. This is specifically about the Guardian 3. So now that you know what my experience was with the Dexcom G6, I'm going to tell you what my experience has been with the Guardian 3, having used it for 4 or 5 months. I hate it. I really do. I've made videos on my Instagram about the first week or two of the experience, and I might link to those so you guys can go watch those. But to summarize, too long didn't read, I hate the Guardian 3. And I'm going to get into some of the reasons why. First of all, while with the Dexcom, it was rare for an insertion to be slightly uncomfortable. With the Guardian 3, which is supposed to be so much less painless than the N-Lite, no. Sometimes you get lucky and it doesn't hurt. Other times it hurts like a bitch. You get one or the other. Okay, it either doesn't hurt or it hurts. There's no it's mild. No. It hurts or it doesn't. That's the first thing. The second thing is just how annoying it is that you have to get a flat surface to put the thing and then push it on. And, listen, I understand that the Dexcom G6 is kind of wasteful because each sensor brings its own inserter, but it was so nice because you would literally just be peel, crack off the little safety tab, and bling, and you're off to the races. Now that I don't get to do that, I miss it. I miss it a lot because it was very easy. With the Guardian, you have to get a flat surface. You don't have to necessarily. You can push it from the bottom and do a whole bunch of. But the point is, you have to do all this extra work just to prep the damn thing for insertion, and then you insert it, and it's painful. And an issue I've been having, and I think I might have to request a new inserter this week, is that I've had like two sensors, like insert like lopsided, so the head was a little bit up. This is like the fourth one from this box, which is a whole story I'm gonna tell now. It's like the second one that does this whole lopsided shit. So I just took a deep breath and I pushed it in the rest of the way, which was like 2 or 3 millimeters. There was blood, a little bit, discomfort, etc., so on and so forth. I should not have to deal with that, is my point, because there's another product on the market that does the job so much better every time. And I understand that there are people that have had very bad experience with the Dexcom G6. I understand that. I get that. But I wanted to add my voice to the reviews that are available on YouTube about the gosh darn Guardian 3. Okay, so insertion. I don't like it. Connectivity. Connectivity. Oh my god, the Guardian 3 drops connection all the freaking time. I'm not talking about drops connection in an erroneous fashion. I mean, it literally, the connection is intermittent. It is in and out all the time. Like, it's not uncommon for me to look at my phone or look at my pump, and it's like 3 dashed lines. And I gotta wait 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 minutes for it to download the readings off the transmitter, which is a connectivity problem between the transmitter and the pump. And I would like to say that it's a transmitter problem. However, I got it replaced. I harassed them to the point where they gave me a new transmitter, and the new transmitter does the same exact thing. And then soon after, I got a new pump because there was a pump problem, and then same fucking problem. So new pump, new transmitter, same connectivity problems. And they're like, oh, RF interference. I'm like, okay, listen, I'm doing a PhD in RF engineering. And let me tell you something. How come your damn device is so fucking incapable of just holding a connection over Bluetooth when the Dexcom G6, which is in the same market, around the same price range, doesn't drop connection at all? It does not drop connection at all. And the insulin pump itself never actually really drops connection with your phone. So the pump has good connectivity with the phone. If your phone drops the Bluetooth connection or something, as phones do, then that's a phone problem. That's not a pump problem. But that interface between the transmitter sensor unit and the actual pump itself, that there is like, what's going on? Why are you not able to just do things like properly? Like, it's not like, I don't know what the problem is here, but it's just, it does not work well. Listen, sometimes I'm doing kendo, okay? I'm a kendo practitioner. I'm in the middle of practice, okay? I'm wearing my armor, my helmet with the mesh, with the thing, and I take off one of my gauntlets, and then I grab my phone, and I need to see where my blood sugar is. I don't want a sensor reading from 15 minutes ago. I want a sensor reading from right now. And I understand that it picks up a sensor reading every 5 minutes, but if you haven't read one from the last 3, then how am I supposed to have accurate information? So I need to know if I need to address a sugar problem, whether it is by drinking a Gatorade or bolusing a correction. I need to know this stuff. It's important. Which brings me to my next point, which is accuracy. The accuracy is god awful, okay? Now, yes, sometimes you get a good sensor, and within the mid-range, you're within 5 to 10 points, like the Dexcom. Woo! Awesome. But, like, you go on the low end, boom, there's discrepancy. You go on the high end, boom, there's discrepancy there. Sometimes 30, 35, 38%. I've written, like, you kind of write these numbers down sometimes, and I'm like, 38% discrepancy. Why? Why? There's a device on the market that performs so much better than this thing. Which brings me to the next point. Calibrations. Dexcom G6, no calibrations needed. You can do them if you want, but they're not needed. They're not required. This gosh darn thing, you put the thing in, after 2 hours, you got to calibrate it. And then within 6 hours, you got to calibrate it again. And then typically, you got to do another within 6 hours. So there's no fucking way you're going to do those to get your 12-hour calibration unless it is within spec. So you got to start like in the morning, right? So you get your 2 hours. Let's say you start at 8 a.m., you get it at 10, and then from 10 to 6, you have a window there, and then from 6 to 12 a.m., you have another window, and, stay up or whatever. Or the other option is to silence the alarms and let your pump run blind the whole night without a calibration reading, which, again, the whole point of the device, right, is that the Guardian 3 is necessary to enable auto mode, right? But auto mode does not work if you don't have the thing calibrated and within spec, okay? And whenever the pump feels that stuff's not right, it'll ask you for a new calibration, or it'll ask you for a new BG, so you have to go prick yourself. So with the Dexcom, I barely had to check my blood sugar. I think I checked my blood sugar like once a day, just to see where things were, and if something didn't feel right, I would go and check my blood sugar again. The point is, I was barely checking my blood sugar, I was saving all kinds of money on test strips, and now I am spending $80 to $100 on test strips every fucking month because I have to be constantly pricking myself to give this thing fucking readings for calibrations and stuff like that just to keep it within spec. And it's like this whole jumping through fucking hoops just to do shit fucking properly. And then it's like you think, right, you can put the sensor in, right, and then put the transmitter on it, and in 2 hours you do a calibration. No, that's a bad idea. That is a bad freaking idea. Do you know what we have to do with the gosh darn Guardian 3, my guys, my girls, my people in between, my non-binary folk? Do you know what we have to do with this gosh darn sensor? I just put in a new one. And you know what I'm doing? I have to let it soak without a transmitter from like now, it's like 6 p.m., okay? I'm going to let it soak until tomorrow morning, and when I get out of bed, the first thing I'm going to do is grab the transmitter, put it on, okay? So it's had like 12 hours, 14 hours to sit in the interstitial fluid to season itself, marinade, all right? To soak. So that my readings for my first calibration and my second calibration and my third calibration are really good and everything's going to be okay. Because I need this for auto mode, correct? But auto mode doesn't really work well if you don't have accurate readings. So I need this thing to be reading accurately so auto mode can do its damn job, right? So like, bro, with the Dexcom, I'd put the shit in, and the first day, the first 24 hours, not even, the first like 12 hours of the Dexcom G6 were within 10, 20%. Okay, but within 12 hours, that thing locks in. It's like it hones in right where it needs to go, and it's like, bing bang, it's fair game. It's go time, right? And that's fantastic and all. That's great. But this doesn't do that, right? This is, you have to like pre-season it. You gotta marinate the damn thing for 12 hours, and then like, Lord forbid, you try to use it right off the start. It's not going to work properly. So it's like, why? And then, the Dexcom lasts for 10 days, and it's kind of hard to reuse, right? So you can't really reuse the sensors, and stuff's expensive, right? We can get into the whole debate of, if we reuse sensors when possible, we save money and all that stuff, right? And the fact that with the Dexcom, the transmitter only lasts 3 months, and it can't be recharged and stuff like that, right? And versus, the Guardian 3, you can recharge it and use the thing for a year, and then every year you gotta get it. But the point is that, like, the supposed benefits, right? And auto mode's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I might make another video just talking about auto mode. But the thing is that the benefits of auto mode do not outweigh the cons and the constant frustration and anger that is induced in me by the Guardian 3. I was able to, using literally a 630G in manual mode with a Dexcom, I was able to take my A1C from like 8.3 down to like 6 point something, okay? And lock in my numbers and everything like that. And it's like, now, I just have such a hard time, like, just relaxing. I just want to put Like I don't think you understand how nice it was when I had the Dexcom and I could literally just look at my phone. 135. And I could blindly trust that was within 5 to 10 points. Go ahead and bolus for my food. I didn't have to like pull out my blood sugar meter. Sometimes, don't let my doctor hear me say this, but sometimes I would even leave my blood sugar meter at home. Why? Because I was going to the store really quick, 10, 15 minutes. It's like, wallet, grab my shit, and go. Because I can trust this device. Okay, I learned to trust it within the first week or two. To trust the Dexcom. I trust it. Okay, this piece of shit, I don't trust it. Okay, let me tell you a story in closing. I just opened a new box of sensors for the Guardian 3. I just got these. They're all from the same lot number. I put in the first sensor, dead sensor, dead on arrival, DOA, bing bang, okay, fine, whatever, rip it off. Go to put in a second one, fucking thing goes in crooked. Great, right? Fucking great. I decided to pull it out. I'm like, I'm going to revisit this later. I come back later, which is like now, right before I recorded this video, put in the third sensor. It's another dead sensor, DOA sensor. Call into the helpline. They're like, well, shit, it looks like you have a bad box. Okay, fine, whatever. That would suck if I have a bad box. Well, shit, right? So I go ahead, pull it out. I hang up with the lady or whatever, give her the information and whatnot. She orders a replacement. I'm like, okay, let's do the fourth sensor. Fourth sensor goes in crooked just like the second one of the box, and I just had to push it in the rest of the way, which I talked about in the video already. The point is that I never had that problem with Dexcom. Okay, I kind of like the way Dexcom does it, where you literally take that inserter thing, and it already has the patch there, so you line everything up right, boom, you feel it, stick to yourself, and then you press the button, and it inserts the needle with the sensor, leaves the sensor behind. Everything is all nice and snug and well placed, which means I can respect the fact that, yes, it's a waste of plastic, save the earth and all of that, but at the same time, that allowed me to assure proper insertion every single time. I have not been able to use the Guardian 3 on my abdomen. They say, oh, abdomen's where it's been certified. What the fuck is the FDA thinking? Or what were these Medtronic studies that they submitted to the FDA for approval? Because I could not get the Guardian 3 to work on my abdomen for the first like 3 sensors. So I just gave up and I was like, fuck this shit. And I started using it on my thigh because last time I dealt with sensors from Medtronic, I could only really kind of use them on my thigh, right? Which is a whole other thing. Let's talk about that for a second, right? The Guardian requires an overpatch. They send you the overpatches. However, I have a massive problem with the overpatches because they give me a massive allergic reaction. I had scars on my thighs from using the Enlight patches for almost a year before those scars went away. When I got this sensor, I just didn't use the patches at all, right? And then one time I decided, hey, I'm going to put an IV3000 down with a hole so I could put the sensor on top and then put the overpatches from the Guardian sensor so that they're not in direct contact with my skin. They still managed to give me an allergic reaction even though the patches were sitting on top of an IV3000. They're made of this like super sticky, super hard, non-breathable plastic. And you got to put it on top. With the Dexcom, the patch that it comes with, just the base patch where the whole thing is, sticks on for 10 days. I rarely had to actually apply an overpatch, third-party overpatch, to hold the damn thing down, right? And I could get away with just using the thing by itself with no fucking I can't do that with the Guardian. So then there's like this additional expense because now I got to buy boxes of the bigger IV3000s just to hold this damn thing down and make sure that it's all nice and snug and shit. And then it's like, whenever there's a problem with the device, it's always like the customer's fault. It's like, oh, like maybe you're placing it wrong or you're putting it on the wrong spot or, you didn't put down the right patch or you're using a third-party patch so the sensor's moving around. I'm like, no, it's just your product is shit. Your product is shit. Okay? So anyways, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm done ranting. This is my review of the Guardian 3. Take care and peace.